Welcome to Putrajaya Airport. I'm Bagu. Here at the club, we provide all the training lessons you need to get started. Then, once you've earned your PPL, you can build up your flight hours and get more experience by taking people out on first flights. But before any of that, let's head outside and take a flight to get familiar with.
Welcome to the apron. This is where all our flying adventures begin. Why don't you walk around a bit while I finish the pre-flight preparations? Welcome aboard. While you settle in, let's go over our flight plan. After taking off, we will climb to 1,600 feet above sea level and then fly over the airport to enjoy the view. Ready? Why don't you start the engine for us? Perfect. The wind is from 270 degrees direction with a speed of 9 knots, so we'll be taking off from runway 21. Okay, let me taxi to the runway. Alright, now comes the fun part. After releasing the brakes and applying full power, we will speed up and take off once we reach 60 knots airspeed. We will be climbing at 75 knots, which is the recommended climbing speed for the Cessna Skyhawk. While climbing, we will follow a left-hand traffic pattern and make 2 turns. Don't worry if it sounds overwhelming, I am here to help. Release the parking brakes, otherwise we're not going anywhere. Ready for takeoff? Apply full power to get us moving. We have to go. Push the throttle lever all the way in. It is not good to block the runway for too long. You handle the yoke, and I'll take care of the pedals, steering the aircraft on the runway during takeoff. Reached 55 knots. Pull the yoke a little bit to lift off. We are approaching our first turn. As you'll see, the Cessna 172 requires very little yoke movement to turn. We are 300 feet above the ground. I will retract the flaps. You keep climbing. You can start turning left. Climbing and prepare for the next turn. This is a good climbing angle. Try to visually remember it. Okay, turn left again. We are almost there. Remember, we need to climb to 1,600 feet. It will keep us 500 feet above the traffic pattern. I love the weather today. The clouds are beautiful, aren't they? There we are, 1,600 feet above sea level and 500 feet above the traffic pattern. We have safe separation with the other airplanes. Look around, see our airport? Let's fly over it. Awesome. I know that you're busy navigating and controlling the plane, but don't forget to enjoy the view. Well done. I believe you have a talent for piloting. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Let's head back to the ground now.
I'm glad that we flew together today. This might be the first chapter in your pilot's journey, if you want to embark on it. Let's catch up at our headquarters. You seemed comfortable out there. I'm sure you will get your PPL in no time. There's a laptop in the office that shows all the certification information you'll need for your PPL exam. Take a look. Here you can. Your first step is to. All the training lessons you'll need to pass the PPL exam are available here. Make.
Let's get you familiar with the aircraft, a Cessna 172, and a few commands to navigate it through the skies. In front of you is the yoke. The yoke is like a steering wheel, more or less. Turn it left or right to control the ailerons and bank the aircraft into turns. Look at the trailing edge of the wings while turning the yoke to see the effect on the ailerons. Okay. Now, the difference between the yoke and a steering wheel is you can pull or push on the yoke. This controls the elevator at the back of the aircraft to make it climb or descend. Look at the horizontal stabilizer while you pull on the yoke. You can see how it affects the elevator. Nice. Down at your feet are the rudder pedals. They steer the aircraft when you're on the ground. The upper part of the pedals also control your brakes. In the air, they control the rudder at the end of the vertical stabilizer to yaw the aircraft. This is mostly for small corrections, for coordinating turns or compensating for a plane's tendency to pull left during takeoffs and climbs. Look at the vertical tail while operating the pedals to see the effect on the rudder. Great. Last but not least, the throttle is located near the center of the cockpit. Push Pushing forward will increase power. Pulling back will decrease power. First, look at the throttle and select it. Keep it selected and push it forward to increase power. Power is increased. Now pull it back to decrease power. Power is decreased. Now we'll do the same without focusing on it. Deselect the throttle. Look away from the throttle and increase power. Set your throttle to idle. Excellent. When the engine is on, you'll be able to see the power change on your RPM indicator. You will find it on your PFD screen in the top left corner. This tells you how fast the engine is spinning in hundreds of revolutions per minute. Next, take a look at your current speed on the airspeed indicator. It's on the left on your PFD screen. It measures the speed in knots. To check your altitude, look to the altimeter. It's on the right on your PFD screen. Not all aircraft have integrated screens with all this information. A lot of them rely on analog instruments. You can find the analog versions of the airspeed indicator and the altimeter just above the throttle. They are respectively on the left and right. The analog altimeter has 3 hands similar to a clock. The long, thick pointer indicates 100-foot intervals. The short, thick one is 1,000-foot intervals, and the long, thin one counts 10,000-foot intervals. That's all for today. Next time, we'll see how it feels in the air. To help demonstrate pitch, I've drawn 3 lines on the windshield.
Stop.
Notice how the middle line matches the horizon while we're flying level? This is the cruise attitude. The lower dotted line is the climb attitude, and the upper one is the descent attitude. Let's dig deeper into what that means. Pull back gently on the yoke until the climb attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude. According to your altimeter, we're gaining altitude. But we're losing airspeed, proving you can't avoid basic physics while making a climb. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Now, let's level back out. Our speed is increasing and our altitude is stable. Go ahead and gently pull back on the yoke. That's okay. When the climb attitude line matches the horizon, maintain that attitude. Push gently on the yoke until the descent attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude. Go ahead and gently pull back on the yoke. As expected, with a nose-down attitude, when the climb attitude line matches the horizon, maintain that attitude. You put your plane in a dangerous situation. Push gently on the yoke until the descent attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude. As expected, with a nose-down attitude, our altitude is decreasing while our speed is picking up. Go ahead and gently pull back on the yoke. That's good. Keep working on it, you'll get better. When the climb attitude line matches the horizon, maintain that attitude. Okay, bring us back to level flight. Now your speed is decreasing and your altitude is stable. Go ahead and gently pull back on the yoke. That's good. That's okay. When the climb attitude line matches the horizon, maintain that attitude. I think a bit more practice may be a good idea. Try to make only small adjustments to your pitch to avoid overcorrection.